In this tutorial, I'm going to cover the primary user interface elements and controls of Monoliths of Terravia. I'm going to go ahead and pause the game here by selecting the escape key so that I can utilize the mouse cursor to cover these basic elements. Now, one of the key elements within the Monoliths game is the primary heads-up display or HUD that you'll see down here on the bottom left of the screen. Now, inside of this, in the very center, is what we call the mini-map. And the mini-map is basically a top-down view of the gameplay area. Enemy grevets or creeps that are coming to attack you will be indicated in a darker red, which we don't see any of those yet, but we will as we progress. And enemy statues or monoliths that they're using to defend the opponent headquarters is in a lighter red. As I begin to send out grevets in a versus boss type of mode, which is an offensive and defensive gameplay, my grevets will show up in a darker blue, and my monoliths that I place to defend myself will show up in a lighter blue. The light yellow dot that you see in the center, that's where the camera is sitting within the gameplay field. Now, two elements that are used throughout Monoliths are mana and galvanite, and these are, from a role-playing perspective, elements that are used to construct. They're consumed when you build things and do upgrades and things of that nature, which we'll cover in other tutorials. But my current mana level is shown here in the blue bar across the top, or the purple bar, and across the bottom is my current galvanite level. Now, as I begin to interact with the game and build monoliths and send grevets, my current usage of each of these items, mana on the top and galvanite on the bottom, will be shown here in these boxes. The circles around the outside of the HUD are called my grevet generators, and as I begin to form my attack against my opponent, I will use the numbers keys 1 through 6 in order to select grevets to send. And when they are in play, you'll see a pictorial picture view of the grevet here and the current build state and so on. I'm going to be covering this a bit more in the grevet tutorial. Now, across the top of the current health indicators, I am Bryson at 100% still. My health bar is this blue line here. The opponent, who's also named Bryson in this case, is the red health bar here. And as this number decrements, as their headquarters are under attack and being destroyed, this percentage number and this bar will go down accordingly. Now, other aspects of the game from a discipline and role-playing perspective, you have capabilities, enhancements, and so on. And some of these discipline attributes are shown below the health bars here on each side. We'll be covering those in another item. So let's go ahead and get back into the game. Now, you'll notice in the escape mode, I'm utilizing a mouse cursor. When I come back into live gameplay, it switches to a reticule. The triangle, 3 red lines in the center, and I'm going to use that to interact with my environment. Now, first of all, let's move around. So the standard WASD controls will allow me to move right, left, forward, and back. I can point to look, and I'll go towards that direction. And to go up and down, I'm going to use the scroll wheel on my mouse. Now, as we get up here a little bit, you'll see these lines on the gameplay field. These are called the paths that the grevets will take. And the opponent paths are shown here in red. There are 2 types. There's a land path and an air path. And you'll see the grevets are coming to attack me right now. And my paths that my grevets will take are shown on the blue. I can toggle these, the air paths, using the F5 key if I prefer to have them off. And using the F6 key, I can turn on the land paths on and off. Now, at any point in the game, if I want some help on the controls, I can hit the H key, and I just hit the 8, and it'll show up a window on the right-hand side here. I hit the H key, and we are done with that. So we're going to cover some of the elements of clicking with the mouse and what that does in the various gameplay stages and some of the other tutorials, but that's an overview of the primary user interface in Monoliths of Terravia.